Welcome back. We just have seen the Indian Independence Act 1947. So we have seen that Clement Attlee declared on 20th February 1947 for the independence, transferring of the Dominion state to India. And we have seen that Mountbatten plan was separation of the India and Pakistan and Bangladesh. And the Government of India Act, those are all the sections, those are all the schedules. They were implemented till the framing the new Constitution of India to India. And then 15th August 1947, we got independent. That we have seen the first and last Governor General of India for the India till the taking the shore Jawaharlal Nehru as the first Prime Minister of India, Independence Act. So let's see. There are small changes in Indian Independence Act. Let's see what are those. Here, the topic is Indian Independence Act 1947 and changes. Act is the same, but changes were there. So, Indian Independence Act changes for India, Union of States. India is a Union of States. 3rd June 1947 that they made changes here. Three changes that happened. Assembly was made fully sovereign body. So allowed to frame Indian constitution on its own. This is the sovereign body. The sovereign means the any country that they can frame their own constitution on their own. New constitution framed for the free independence India. Free to enact any laws, ordinary laws for free India. Free to enact any laws, ordinary laws for free India. Dr. Rajendra Prasad, Constituent Assembly. Rajendra Prasad Constituent Assembly, first chaired Constituent Assembly after Assembly became the first Parliament of Free India till 26th November 1947. So Rajendra Prasad was the first chaired Constituent Assembly. G.V. Maulankar, legislative body, the first chaired Constituent Assembly after the Assembly became the first Parliament of Free India till 26th November 1947. So G.V. Maulankar is legislative body. Rajendra Prasad was constituent body, first chaired. The Muslim League members withdrew from the Constituent Assembly, which led that strength of the members came down to 99 out of 389. Total 389, but Muslim League members withdrawn from the Constituent Assembly. Now total member is 299. Remember that. So Rajendra Prasad elected as the first president of India. Remember that. Maulankar elected as the first vice president of India. So these two are important for the preliminary exams. Rajendra Prasad first elected first president of India elected, and first vice president of India elected Maulankar. National flag was adopted July 22, 1947. 22 July 1947. Remember that. Pingal Venkaya. National anthem adopted on January 24, 1950. National anthem Janaganamana, January 24, 1950. National song adopted on January 24, 1950. National song on January 24, 1950. National anthem, national song both are have adopted on the same date. Rajendra Prasad elected as the first president of India 24 January 1950. Constituent Assembly had 11 sessions at the times, about 2 years, 11 months, 18 days. So total Constituent Assembly had 11 sessions, about 2 years, 11 months, 18 days to frame the Indian Constitution. Constitutional makers had gone through the constitutions of about 60 countries. It took for the drafting about 114 days. The total expenditure about 64 lakh. So on January 24, 1950, Constituent Assembly held its final session. Finally, the Indian Constituent Assembly adopted the Constitution of November 26, 1947. This is the adopted date, November 26, 1947. Indian Constituent Assembly adopted this time. It came into force 26th January 1950. So 26th January 1915, Indian Constitution came into force. This is keep in mind. It is important for exam when it is forced, when it is came into force. January 96, it came into force. 26 November adopted. So this is all about Independence Act 1947 changes. There are three changes. That is, the one is the Assembly, fully sovereign body. Second one is the Constitution framed for the Independence Act, free to enact any laws, ordinary laws for free India. The Muslim League withdraw that. They were total member strength of the total members were down to 299. So this is all about the changes in Indian Independence Act 1947. Let's see next. The next one, Independent Act changes. So let's see the committees. Indian Independent Act committees. Drafting committee took the less than 6 months to draft the Constitution of India. Takes about 141 days. So Constitution of India. This is the legislative assembly discussing over the Constitution, drafting the constitutions. So major committees, let's see here. Union Powers Committee, Jawaharlal Nehru. Union Constituent Assembly, Jawaharlal Nehru. So Constitution Committee and Union Powers Committee, Jawaharlal Nehru. Drafting Committee, Ambedkar. And Provincial Constitution Committee, Sardar Patel. Provincial Constitution Committee, Sardar Patel. Drafting Committee is B.R. Ambedkar. B.R. Ambedkar. And Advisory Committee and Fundamental Rights Minorities Tribal Excluded Area, Sardar Patel. Patel having the two. The one is the Provincial Constitution Committee, Advisory Committee for the Fundamental Rights, FRs, Minorities, Tribal and Excluded Areas, Sardar Patel. The Rules of Procedures Committee, Rajendra Prasad. Steering Committee, Rajendra Prasad. Steering Committee, Rules of Procedure, Rajendra Prasad. State Committee is also under the Jawaharlal Nehru. Union Powers Committee, Union Constitution Committee, State Committee. So State to Union Constitution by the Jawaharlal Nehru. Drafting Committee is by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Those are all the major committees. Now minor committees. Finance and Staff Committee, Rajendra Prasad. Credentials Committee, Alladi Krishnaswamy Iyer. House Committee, Pattabi Sitaramaya. Order of Business Committee, K.M. Munshi. Ad hoc Committee on the National Flag, Rajendra Prasad. Committee on the Functions of the Constituent Assembly, Mahavankar. The drafting committee members, there are 7 members. One is the B.R. Ambedkar, he was chairman to that drafting committee. And Gopala Swami Iyer, Alladi Krishnamacharya Iyer, Gopal Swami Iyengar, sorry, Alladi Krishnamacharya Iyer, K.M. Munshi, Syed Muhammad Sadullah, Madhav Rao, and Krishnamacharya. These 7 members, remember that for some questions they will ask which of the following were not the member of drafting committee. So likewise they may ask you. So 7 members, just keep in mind to eliminate the right options, to get right options by eliminating it. Ambedkar chairman, Gopal Swami Iyengar, Alladi Krishnamacharya Iyer, K.M. Munshi, Syed Muhammad Sadullah, Madhav Rao, Krishnamacharya. So this is all about the major and minor committees of Indian Independence Act 1947. Let's see the next one. The next one is, so there is history of Constitution of India. The first reading, B.R. Ambedkar introduced the final draft of the Constitution in Assembly, November 4th, 1948. Discussed 5 days. It was the first reading of the Constitution. That is by the B.R. Ambedkar. Second reading between the November 15th to October 1949. It's about 7653 amendments were proposed and 2473 discussed. The third reading is the December on Third reading of document is on the 14th November 1947. The Constitution has adopted the 26th November 1947. The contain the preamble, 395 articles, 8 schedules. For the first time, 395 articles were there, and the schedules, 8 schedules. Remember that. So this is important. First Constitution adopted 26th November 1949. It is adopted, not came into force. There were three readings were happened about the document of the Indian Constitution. The Dr. Ambedkar is the father of Indian Constitution, constitutional expert, chief architect of the Indian Constitution, modern Mano. So Ambedkar is also called as modern Mano, the father of the Constitution of India. Remember that Ambedkar is a father of the Constitution of India, constitutional expert, chief architect of the Indian Constitution. So Constitution of India came into force 1950 January 26. So adopted November 1949 and came into force 26 January 1950. So came into force. Purna Swaraj Day is celebrated the 26th January 1930 is following resolution of the Lahore session. So this is all about the history of Indian Constitution, how it was framed, the reading of the Constitution, discussions over the articles and amendments that are proposed.